ladies and gentlemen of all ages, boys and girls. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of Angry Meat Production. We appreciate you coming in and letting us be a part of your lives week in and week out. We hope to do our best to present you with something that your eardrums delight in. Whether you're looking at us on YouTube or Rumble, or listening to us on Spotify, Google, or Anchor, or any of the other podcast services that we are currently on or trying to get on. We thank you. And if you don't mind, at the end of every episode, stop by, leave us a comment, leave us a like. If it asks for 5 stars, we'll take 5 stars, even if you don't like us. 5 stars are what it's all about. With that being said, we hope you enjoy our attempt to make our advocation our vocation. Ladies and gentlemen, let the games begin. We here at Angry Me Production want to thank our sponsor, Mobile Notary Mindy. She's certified with the National Notary Association. She's also bonded and E&O insured. She offers a wide range of services including wills, powers of attorney, medical documents, healthcare proxies, living wills, certification of trust, assignment of personal property, HIPAA waivers, advanced healthcare directives, and 99 verification. You can find her on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram at Mobile Notary Mindy. You can also visit her webpage at texasmobilenotarymindy.com. That's TX, mobilenotarymindy.com. Thank you so much, and enjoy the show.
Welcome, Angry Faithful. Yes, Johnny's in the air on this one, so you're only going to hear his lovely voice. So I decided, not we decided, after talking to him, we like two to 3 weeks ago, we decided to go in and get healthy. So we are.
What's this weed crap, dude? I've been doing it for like the last 2 months.
Have you been doing it for 2 months?
I've been on the carnivore for 2 months, dude.
Oh, okay. You've been on carnivore diet for 2 months. Me, I just started my vitamin packet, and then I go to a I'm not gonna disclose the place I go work out, even though it's at like late in the night, so no one can go up there. But I just been working out heavily. At least I've only started like last night for the full gym experience workout. I've been doing like yoga and just little burpees and everything. Just the regular stuff you can do at home.
Right.
Yeah. I got
that's what I've been doing. Because one of the hardest things to do for me is work out by myself, right?
That is
so. It is. It's difficult for me because it's not a self-discipline problem. It's an accountability issue. So
yeah,
what I do is I try to go walk at least 2 to 3 miles around my neighborhood. Sometimes I'll wear my plate carrier without the ammo pouches on it, just so that way I can get the weight. A lot of times, though, I'll go without the vest, and I'll just walk. Because I'm still trying to rehab this knee from last year. But I subscribed to the Better Me app, and I'm doing things like just basic calisthenics. And then you've got like little side workouts that you can do, like chair calisthenics, chair yoga, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Most of that is just going to be just to engage the different muscle groups, because you can eat good. You can cut out the sugars like I have. You can cut out the carbs like I have. And you can just double up on your water intake. Meats, cheeses, salts, eggs, things like that, which is what I'm doing. But after at a certain point, you're going to start to plateau. because the best diet in the world, or the best, well, I say diet, I hate the word diet. The best eating regimen in the world is only going to get you so far. You need to incorporate a physical regimen, some kind of exercise, some kind of PT, whether it's just basic sit-ups, push-ups, maybe some flutter kicks, engage your core, that kind of thing. Just work on some planks, get your cardio up right around like 122 beats a minute. Just kind of keep that consistent throughout the course of your cardio workout. It doesn't have to be, balls to the wall CrossFit. Make CrossFit look like a My Little Pony, marathon or anything like that. But I mean, it's you have to do something in addition to the eating habits in order to get the maximum effort.
Yeah.
And I know that, David, you and I are both of the age of 40, so
yeah, it's tough.
We got to work
because
twice as hard as those young bucks out there.
Well, that and the fact that a lot of the parts don't work that well anymore.
Right, like your shoulders, knees, your back. I mean,
mine's my elbows. I have to wear elbow braces.
Yeah, no, and I get that because, like, at our age, we're more susceptible to things like bursitis.
Yeah.
So, it sucks getting old, man. It's like, when we were in our teens and 20s, we're active duty. We're sitting there going, like, we're 10 feet tall and bulletproof. We get out, we stay active, we stay fit, and then we hit 30 and our metabolism goes, hey, guess what? I'm not doing that anymore. And then you hit 40 and then your metabolism is like, I'm retired.
Yeah.
So we gotta work extra hard to get the same kind of results that these 20-somethings out there are getting. I mean, to me, it's about maintaining a certain body type, but it's also about self-confidence. It's about maintaining a certain level of mental health as well. So, I mean, especially as an infantry vet, and yourself having been deployed overseas, where you have like this image of yourself in your head, and then when you look in the mirror after you get in and out of the shower, and you see that extra spare tire that wasn't there before,
yeah, you throw up a little
just kind
bit,
of staring back at you. Yeah. So I mean, it's discouraging. So, but for me, I don't want to say it was rock bottom because I know that a lot of people hit rock bottom, and for them, it's actually rock bottom.
Yeah.
But parenthetically speaking, like, just that straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. For me, I bought, right now I wear a 38 waist pants. And that's because, like you, I can still carry, so I need room, right?
Yeah.
But they were getting tight to the point where I couldn't carry, and I'm like, what is going on? So I bought a bathroom scale and went home. I put the batteries in it, put it on the floor, and the next morning when I got up, I took a leak, went out in the back, next to the shower, and I stepped on the scale and it said 250 pounds. I have never been that heavy in my life.
Yeah.
And I said, enough is enough. I've got to do something about this, because I don't want to drive myself to an early grave. I want to be able to be there for my wife. I want to be there for my kids. I want to be there for my grandkids, kind of thing. And God willing, I'll be there for my great grandkids. I want to be a burden on 3 generations.
Yeah.
So, but I went to my wife because I remember she had been on the carnivore before and she had some results with it. And I told her, I was like, look, I got to do something. So I'm going to start this carnivore thing. And I just dove into it. I really did. I dove right into it. I cut out bread. I haven't had a soda 2 months. Actually, over 2 months. So I cut out the junk food, chips, candy, chocolate was the big thing for me. Ice cream, that's been the killer. Like, I love ice cream. So, it's like, it's hard, man. But once I started to see some of the benefits from having that carnivore diet in my life, like immediately I started to notice things like the inflammation in my joints was gone after like 3 days. I was sleeping better. After about a week and a half, like my teeth started feeling better. Everybody needs to go to the dentist to get your, cleaning or, twice a year cleaning, whatever.
Yeah.
But like the plaque that inevitably builds up on the backside of your teeth is gone for me. And I've got more energy, and as a man, I mean, there's been that initial kind of like a bonus spike in my libido. I know it's probably a little TMI for some of the people out there, but it overall, I mean, as males that embark on that journey, and they do the carnivore route, they don't necessarily have to go hardcore like the lion diet like Joe Rogan did. But I mean, for me, it's 3 B's and an E. It's beef, bacon, butter, and eggs. That's all I eat. The only seasoning that I have been putting on there is Redmond's real salt. It's mined up in Utah, so it's got all the minerals and everything like that salt's supposed to have. Because the table salt that we've been putting on our foods for years, it's iodized salt. And so what they do is they strip a lot of the minerals and vitamins that are naturally occurring in salts.
Yeah.
To put that out on the table. I drink a ton more water. I was drinking unsweetened tea for a while there, just because it's got caffeine in it, and it was breaking up that monotony of just drinking water. But what I've started doing is I've started cutting back on my tea. I haven't given up coffee, and I'm not going to. It's written in the Geneva Convention that I have to have a cup of coffee before I people in the morning.
I call it anti-murder juice.
Yeah. It's freedom in a cup, and it's not necessarily freedom for us. It's freedom for the rest of the human race. But because otherwise you got a bunch of oppressive barbarians running around.
Dude, I tried to talk to somebody. I tried to talk to somebody today about the episode for. This is going to come out on Sunday. The one for Saturday for Psychos and Sociopaths, and I was trying to cohort a sentence. Man, that was the most difficult thing. And I knew it was just fresh out of my mind of the information that I had gathered from yesterday, because I did it late in the day. I just couldn't do it. It was just
like
horrible.
The transmission in your brain just dropped out of here. Right?
Yeah.
And that's another benefit of the carnivore diet that I found, is that a lot of the brain fog is gone.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to be completely and totally transparent. You need to have a cheat day every once in a while. I mean, I know that there's going to be those hardcore carnivore diet, advocates out there that are be like, you don't need cheat days or whatever. But for me, it's about that mental satiation, where I'm like, okay, I'm not having these sweets every day. And when I do decide that I'm going to set aside one day, or even just a portion of the day to kind of indulge, I don't go overboard, because when you reintroduce that crap into your system, dude, you feel like absolute garbage.
Oh yeah, it is. It is like, you know what? Today I want to get punched like really, really hard. That's all it is for that cheat day for me. Because
back before it was like towards the end of the regular season for the NBA. I took my wife and my sister-in-law to the Rockets Mavericks game in Houston, where I got to see Luka Doncic dropped 47 points on the Rockets. Anyways, moving on. There wasn't a lot of like carnivore-friendly options at the Toyota Center, so I just used that as a cheat day. I had a personal pan pizza, I had some chili cheese fries, I had a beer and a Dr. Pepper. And the Dr. Pepper did not taste good to me.
It was really, really sweet, wasn't it?
It tasted flat. don't know if
Really?
it was because it was actually flat. I don't know. It didn't taste right. I didn't enjoy it. Right?
Yeah.
You think like, oh God, this, Dr. Pepper. I mean, it's a Texas staple. You're just like, oh, it's so good. But I'm like, I couldn't enjoy it. But I mean, I had a Dos Equis when we got there, and I mean that tasted really good, right?
Yeah.
But I got some water, and I started to try to just immediately. I mean, I knew that I was going to feel like crap, and I mean, I had some water before we left the game, and I mean, I was up all night. My stomach was cramping, and I was just like, dude, I felt like I needed to take a dump. But and I couldn't because a lot of my body hasn't been doing that. Like normally, I could set my watch to the time that I would get up in the morning, and march my way to the bathroom and be in there for like 10, 15 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Downloading your morning constitution kind of situation.
Yeah.
I go from every day to maybe once a week, maybe once every 10 days, because on this carnivore diet, all I'm taking in are vitamins, minerals, and the good fats and proteins, right? And my body is absorbing all of that. And it freaked me out at first. I was like, oh man, I'm constipated. But I did my research on it, and I'm like, no, I just need to let this run its course, because the first time that I go, I'm going to be like, okay. And, so I suddenly find myself with a lot more time on my hands, obviously, because of the,
because men
because
do
of the change. But
men go to the restroom and it's like 45 minutes in the bathroom.
yeah, I mean, and that's every day.
Yeah.
But now every 7 or 10 days, yeah, I'm in there for like 20 or 30 minutes, but I'm not in there trying to like set land speed records so I can get back out, or anything like that. But right now I have hit a little bit of a plateau.
Mm-hmm.
I actually gained back 2 pounds, but I've been kind of slacking off on my morning workout routine. Like today, I got up and left the house at 6 o'clock this morning. I drove from Lake Jackson all the way up to Wichita Falls. For those of you who know, that's a 6.5 hour drive, minus traffic. And so I got up there, hung out Wichita Falls for about an hour and a half, 2 hours at my parents' house, picked up my kids, and I'm currently on 45 heading south, going back home to Houston. So, I've been in the car all day. And even when you're traveling, it's possible to still eat carnivore. We stop at Whataburger. I'll order just 3 regular. I'll just order 3 patties and 3 pieces of bacon, and that's it. No bread, no drink, no fries, because I'm avoiding those starches. I'm just eating the meat. And Whataburger does a pretty good job about seasoning their patties whenever they cook them. And so I'm like, all right. And I know that the patties haven't been sitting there forever in a holding tray, because they're supposed to cook everything when you order it. So I feel pretty confident about eating that. And I've had this question asked to me a couple of times by family members and friends. They're like, well, what about your cholesterol? Aren't you worried about that? I'm like, no, I'm actually not. Because I've had my blood taken. I've had blood work done since I started this. And my cholesterol is awesome.
Yeah.
So my blood pressure, awesome. And it's because, everybody attributes red meat with heart disease and things like that. And that's because, one, you're eating the cheaper cuts, the processed meats.
Yeah.
Like your ready-made hamburger patties. Like you go buy to the store and you buy raw patties, right? Those get processed and they've got binders in them. Whereas if you buy just ground beef, you get the 80%, 20%, the 80% lean, 20% fat. You can go home and cook that off. You can make patties with it. You can just brown the hamburger meat. There's a guy I follow on TikTok. He calls himself the Carnivore King. He drains the juice or the grease. I call it the grease. He calls it burger juice. He drains that off when he makes ground beef and he drinks it. And I'm like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I'm not going that far.
I cook with salted butter and beef tallow. Rendered beef tallow. You can buy it at the store. You keep it in the refrigerator. You scrape some out of the jar, throw it in the pan with a pat of butter, and you get those good fats combining. And then you can sear a steak in the pan, or you cook your ground beef down in it. I cook eggs in it, and, dude, and it gives everything a more beefy flavor. But at the same time, because they've rendered all that tallow down to, all that fat down to tallow, it's nothing but good stuff. It's all the good fats that are in there still. So
I still need to start making broth again. I love making broth, and it's so easy to make. It's just time consuming, but
it is.
But making broth, it keeps forever. 2, it is the most healthiest drink you could possibly drink.
It really is, and I don't like bone broth. I don't
really,
but I force myself. Yeah, it to me, it's got, I don't know. It's a mental thing, and it's something that I've got to work through. But I know that it's necessary, so it's something that I'm working on. But it does take a degree of self-discipline to not shove your face full of garbage.
Yeah.
And, you're going to have your days where you just like, you'll hit like on keto, you'll hit that. You'll have a day or two where you feel like you're just run down and sick. They call it keto flu. And it's the same thing when you're on carnivore. Like every once in a while, you'll just have that day where you wake up and you're like, but you just have to push through it. And for me, I'll get up, I'll clean stuff around the house, or I'll get out and I'll go mow my yard. And if you've listened to our Nerd Sports show enough, I've talked about how I keep my yard up lately. So
yeah, it's sickening.
I'm out there a lot. Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of sickening how I'm surprised you're not there with scissors on the front lawn.
Well, wait till I drop $2,000 on my dream mower. I might as well be.
Yeah.
I'll drop that sucker down to 2 millimeters. Now I'll have my front yard looking like a putting green.
Yeah.
But it does take discipline, and I make jokes with my wife and my sister-in-law all the time because we've got the boys that live with us and everything. So of course, kids eat candy, right?
Yeah.
And my sense of smell has become heightened. I can smell candy, which is weird for me, right? So, like one of my favorite candies in the entire world is the Haribo Happy Cola, right?
Is it?
We got our youngest, the little Coke bottles.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but our youngest he's got a couple of bags that he leaves just sitting around the house open because he didn't pay for it, so why not? And it's just sitting there staring at me, it's taunting me, right? So you'll see me like a crackhead every once in a while. I'll grab a bag of candy and I'll stick my nose in it and I'll just inhale it.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
And I'm like, oh, that's the stuff right there. And then I'll close the bag up and I'll put it away. But, so I have to, it's a little gallows humor, but, just like you and I with and Chris, with our degree of humor, it's, we have to, it's just a coping mechanism at that point. But once you get after like about a week and a half, it really stops being hard. You just have to wake up and consciously make that decision to say, I'm not going to eat the crap today. And once you start seeing the weight come off, you really start focusing on not necessarily looking at the light at the end of the tunnel, because that should be a ways off, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, I started out at 250. My goal is to hit 200. And so when I hit 230, I was like, "Whoa, man, this is awesome." Now that I'm at 227, I'm sitting here going, all right, I'm plateauing out a little bit. I said earlier at the beginning of the episode here that I'm getting back like an hour or two. So like this morning before I left the house, I was at 230 again. So I'm like, all right, this is not the way I need to go. I really need to dedicate myself and just start putting the nose to the grindstone, for lack of a better term. But it's doable. And for anybody that's got questions, reach out to me. You can reach me at my TikTok. It's at SocksDaddy77 or old NFS Grunt on X or Twitter. I call it Twitter. Or you can hit me up on Facebook. So, or just send messages to our general email box at angrymeatproduction@gmail.com.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not licensed dietitians. We're not licensed nutritionists or anything like that. If you want to know about what we're doing and you want to do some of your own due diligence, go to TikTok. Before they decide to ban it for good, just look up carnivore diet and look at the positive videos that talk about the diet. You'll see a lot of recipes out there. One of the things that I've done to substitute sweets is my wife found this. They're egg wraps. They look basically like they're tortillas made out of egg whites, and that's it, right? You can find them in the refrigerated section next to the butter. And take sugar-free. You take heavy whipping cream, and you can whip it up. Use stevia or sucralose because it's an artificial sweetener, but it's a 1-to-1 measurement for sugar, and you can sweeten make whipped cream, but don't use sugar kind of thing, because there's no carbs, no sugar in it. Anyways, and just dollop some in the middle of that, and you can sprinkle a little bit of like ground cinnamon and roll it up, and it's basically a carnivore cannoli. And they're actually really good. There have been some misses on the carnivore diet as far as like trying to explore, find new things. I was looking for a bread substitute, and I found one using heavy whipping cream and egg whites and egg white powder protein. And so you mix it up. You basically make like a meringue, and then you throw it in a bread pan and bake it. That did not taste good at all.
They actually now, I was listening to Time Suck, and they have like protein bread, I guess it is. I don't know how it's gonna taste, but it's a bread substitute. If there's a, and I hate to say that what we're doing is a fad, but it kind of,
it's really not.
It's really not.
But it's how we used to eat as a race.
Yeah.
Back in the day, before we started introducing all of these chemicals into our diets.
Yeah.
Per capita, you compare the American diet to European or Asian diets.
It's night and day.
European and Asian diets are exactly, they're night and day. They are far less carcinogenic. They are far less chemical laden, and they have way more of the nutrients and vitamins that we used to eat as a people. And it's, and just like, it blows me away, because here we are, the richest nation in the world. We have by far and away, the most food surplus. And it, throw your tinfoil hat on, do whatever you want to do. Yes, I believe that Big Pharma drives a lot of what happens in this country because they like to keep people sick. But you've got all these chemicals and all these processed foods. Like, dude, I love me the shit out of some spam, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't eat it anymore because it's basically it's just the trimmings.
Have you
They just press it to a mold and
have you seen the change in Cheese Whiz from back in the day to now?
No, I know that it used to be better back. Well, no, it was crap back then, but it's even worse now.
Yeah, it literally is. It's like 100 times worse. It doesn't even taste the same. Because I wanted to make a authentic Philly cheesesteak sandwich.
Yeah.
And the main ingredient is Cheese Whiz. I mean, it's steak, onions.
Here's what you do with that, David.
Yeah.
If you want to do like a carnivore cheesesteak, cut out the onions. Don't buy pre-shredded cheese in the store. And here's why: if you really can commit to doing this type of a diet, you're going to start reading labels. And I mean, not just nutritional information. I'm talking about ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
They use potato starch on shredded cheese as an anti-caking agent.
Yeah. What's really weird is
So-
look up your spices.
Oh yeah,
Dude.
Spices by far and away are the worst. Now, I have started experimenting with this new with this spice line, seasoning line that's out there. You can find it at Buc-ee's. I think you can find it at Walmart, HEB's. It's called Hardcore Carnivore,
Mm-hmm.
and there's no chemicals in it,
Really?
no sugars. Yeah, dude. And the red seasoning is amazing on steak.
Really?
Yeah.
I have to try that out.
And you don't have to get like these uber expensive cuts of meat. You can hit up your sales. If you've got access to a meat grinder, you can, or even if you don't, you can find a cheap counter-mounted meat grinder on Amazon for like $25 or $30. And if you want to keep track of what's in your ground beef, go buy chuck roasts, go buy shoulder roasts, go buy sirloins, and grind them yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Because that's what I did. We still buy ground beef, in bulk when we go to like Costco. We went to Costco last Saturday in Pearland. It's about 45 minutes from our house. And we probably dropped about, this is embarrassing to say on the air. We probably dropped about $700 on meat.
Wow.
But we bought sirloins, we bought beef ribs. My wife and sister-in-law, we got them some pork chops. I'm not eating the pork chops because it's a leaner cut, and I'm really focusing on trying to keep those fats in, because it is possible to starve yourself on just pure protein.
Yeah.
So
that's why I ended up
something to
getting
break
like
down.
the microfiber vitamins and everything, only because I could feel it.
Too. We just ordered. So they say that you're supposed to be eating the organs, right? Like the hearts, the livers, the kidneys.
Yeah.
And me, I'm like, you can buy those organs freeze dried, ground up, and put into a capsule.
Yeah.
And so that's what my wife just ordered some for us today, or no, she's going to order some tomorrow. But anyway, so she's going to order those, and I'm going to be taking those, because they've got formulas specifically set aside for, formulated for women for their hormonal balance. They've got unisex blends. They've got blends that are specifically geared for men. There's just a ton of stuff out there as far as resources and research to help, cater the diet specific for you. What you're comfortable with. You can start out as a modified carnivore. You can work your way up to the lion diet, where it's just meat and salt, kind of a deal.
Yeah.
But, me, will I get to the lion diet? I doubt it, because, it's one of those, once I get to a certain spot, as far as like my target weight's going to be concerned, at that point, it's about maintaining, packing on that lean muscle mass. Taking my 46-year-old dad bod, and turning it into something that I remember looking like when I left active duty. But it's mostly for me. It's about self-confidence and mental health. But a lot of it is, yes, it's going to be my overall physical health. It's going to be my overall longevity and wanting to be around for my family. So it does take self-discipline. I know that I've said that probably a dozen times already, tonight, but I can't stress it enough. It's about self-discipline, self-initiative, and just keeping your eye on short-term goals. Because if you fix, it's like road marching or rucking. If you're walking uphill and you keep staring at the crest, you'll never get there. You have to focus 10 to 15 feet in front of you. You set short-term goals, and when you start hitting those, you're going to keep going because you're going to build momentum. You're going to start building that confidence. And for me, that's what it's about. So, yeah, you're going to hit a setback every once in a while. You may have a cheat day. You may fall off the wagon and just like completely, blow it out of the water. You're going to feel like crap. Your body's going to react to it, but you have to get up back on that horse the next day, and you have to start, cleaning your body back out and get back on that, on that right track. And it'll take 2 to 3 days, and your body will bounce right back, because just like your muscles, your digestive tract, and your system they're gonna remember what it felt like to process these specific types of foods. And I mean, like I said, it's been 2 months for me. I can look at a loaf of bread and go, oh, nah, I'm good. I haven't even had a craving for soda in like the last month.
Yeah, once you get past not drinking it for a while, it takes like 2 weeks. And I'm not gonna lie to you. When I did that, because I was like, I'm gonna cut sugars out of my life. The first week was hell, only because the headaches and everything. Because I just basically did the I'm just gonna drink water for right now. And that's all I did. I drank water.
Well, you want to know? Here's a tip. Well, it's not a tip. It's a hack. It's what I did. It's what I continue to do to kind of satiate that carbonated craving. Drink sparkling mineral water.
You keep on saying,
you can buy those.
You keep on saying and doing weird stuff like that. I can't. I tried to.
Well,
you brought that one.
No. Hear me out. You can buy, I know HEB's got an 1877 brand that they have.
Uh-huh.
It's lime, grapefruit, and then they've got like an unflavored water, right? Costco's got their Kirkland brand. You can drink Topo Chico.
Mm-hmm.
You can drink that San Pellegrino sparkling Italian water, and and if you're needing something that tastes better than white noise should sound, then go out and those drink additives, water additives that you see people buying, those Mios.
Yeah.
I've got those are made with sucralose.
Yeah.
So there's no sugar in them. There's no carbs. There's no calories in them. Kind of a thing. There's no fats. I've got the black cherry. I use the black cherry flavor because it comes with B vitamins and caffeine in it.
Okay.
And there's a rumor out there. I've yet to try it, but if you take Topo Chico and mix it with the black cherry Mio, it's supposed to taste like a Dr. Pepper.
Now,
and I'm like, okay, I can kind of see that, but at the same time, I'm like, I like mineral water anyway. You can find like smart water. They've got the alkaline base, which is like a pH 8, 7, 8, and 9. You don't want to get too high on the base scale because then it just turns into just pure base.
Yeah.
But you can drink the alkaline waters. The alkaline waters actually settle your stomach down if you feel like your stomach's upset a little bit. But I've got a lot more energy to burn. And I'm a pretty religious Alpha Brain user.
Mhm.
That product that Joe Rogan pimps all the time on his show. And I'll still take it every once in a while, like before a big exam. I'll take like 3 of them. But for the most part, since I've started this diet, I've been able to focus in class a lot more. My notes have gotten a lot crisper. My test scores have actually gone up since then. I think a lot of it is because I don't have as much of that brain fog.
Well, there's this new thing that just came out. I was gonna try, and I might not after looking at the prices on this stuff. Jesus, it's like $129. It's called Ketone IQ.
Look at the Alpha Brain website.
Well,
They've
I've
just
done
come out with a brand new formula. Right, no, but they've got a new one out called Black Label that Joe Rogan says he absolutely loves. He said you take Alpha Brain and you intensify it because all it is a nootropic, right?
Mm.
So he said like before he has like a astrophysicist or some kind of professor or astronomer on his show, he'll pop a couple of Black Label Alpha Brains and he'll lock in on what they're trying to say because he wants to be engaged with what they're trying to talk about. So he sounds, more informed, and he can make those, he can postulate those better formed questions.
Yeah. No,
I know I just threw a bunch of brand new words at you.
No, it's not that. I've tried the Alpha Brain, and it does work just a slight better. But another thing I was thinking about doing, and this is what's really sad is I did the research for everybody, so they don't have to worry about it. Actual farmed honey, not the stuff that you buy from the store, but actually something from someone. Go to a flea market or something like that. Get that for like your sugar fix sometimes, but don't go to the store and buy honey. That is corn syrup. I found that out. It is just corn syrup. It is.
Well, they do sell raw honey at a lot of the supermarkets now.
It's still corn syrup. I looked it up, but most people, if it's factory, if it says it's like from a factory and everything, it's not natural honey. It is it's like a small amount of actual honey, and they pour a bunch of corn syrup in it. It's like looking.
Well, then that's why it's important. Yeah, that's. Go ahead.
It's like the whole fact of spices and everything. If you get the cheap spices, there's like 3% sugar in it. I was like, is it the sugar from the plant or something? No, they add in sugar just for an added taste. And a lot of the my military service was as a cook, so I have to read recipes and everything, and I learned how a lot of recipes are made. Like, I was looking at old recipes of like 1950s, 1960s spaghetti, and they added in sugar constantly. And my mom used to add in a little, like a pinch of sugar or so into the spaghetti, homemade spaghetti sauce. So I was
it was to balance out the acidic there.
Yeah,
it was to balance out the acidity of the tomato.
Yeah, but it didn't really need it. I like
it really didn't.
Because I talked to this Italian person. She was showing me how to make spaghetti sauce from her country, because it was basically grandmother's recipe. Guard it with your life. I'm not allowed to share it or anything like that.
I was going to say she shared it with you.
Well, that's only because I got on certain things. I got like a photogenic memory. Cooking is one. I can taste something and tell you what the stuff is. It's I don't know how I do it. I just know I do it. And I was watching you do it.
So we've discovered your superpower.
It is strange as a thing that I can do, and it's pretty understanding is what I get into. Like oh man, I go hard in cooking because I had a guy, and I know I'm pulling us off the rails, but I'm not pulling us off the rails. But I had a guy, he handed me this food, and I told him every spice he used on it. I didn't tell him like the quantity of the spice and everything. And I was like, well, why did you use like sugar in it? And he's like, well, you're supposed to. That's always how I've always cooked it. I was like, no, you don't need sugar in it. I mean, if it's barbecue, it's like sauces. Everybody freaks out when I order food now from like a restaurant or something like that. If I get a burger, I just want meat and cheese. And I don't do a full carnivore diet. I have bread every once in a while. Johnny has to because you actually have a lot of stuff that you need to drain off. I don't have as much, and I need a lot of calories still. Surprisingly,
you just called me fat, dude.
No, I didn't call you fat. I said you have a harder metabolism. It needs it has extra stuff that's. I called you fat. I have.
Well, I mean, at least I'm getting some.
Yeah. You kids are in the back. They're having.
See, what would be an episode with the two of us if I didn't give you a hard time, David?
I know. We love each other.
Yeah, I mean, but going back to the ingredients and like the honey, I mean, that's. If you find out that some of these quote unquote organic raw honeys are actually corn syrup, then that's a violation of the law.
Yeah.
So I mean that's why it's important to read your labels.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I like to try to buy. I mean, if you really are that worried about what's in your meat and things like that, find a local butcher.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay? Yeah, you're gonna pay a little bit more, but you're paying for the quality. You're paying for that peace of mind. If you're gonna consume honey, go to a local beekeeper.
And I'm telling you right now,
raw honey from them.
Oh yeah, and I'm telling you right now that raw honey, night and day. The stuff that you get from the store, it's crap compared to actual natural honey. I mean, it's cheating without cheating.
Really
honestly,
want to go local. Yeah, I mean, if you really want to go natural, find you a local dairy farmer and buy raw milk. But I mean, for me,
you're not at that stage yet?
the only dairy. Well, for me, the only dairy that I consume is the butter and the heavy whipping cream.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, because even with like whole milk, because if you're going to drink milk, drink whole milk. Don't drink skim. Don't drink. I mean, the difference between 2% and whole milk, here's the spoiler, is 1%. Literally.
Yeah.
It's whole milk that's sold in the store.
It's actually watered down. It's just watered down a little bit more.
It is. It's 3% milk, basically. Yeah. Because if you wanted whole milk, you got to go to the dairy, or you get the heavy whipping cream and you pour it back into your gallon of milk.
Yeah.
Because they separate those fats during the pasteurizing phase.
Mm-hmm.
But there's, I have to drink skim milk. Then just drink water
Yeah.
and take a calcium supplement because, you know, you have to have fat. When they started, I mean, the food industry's biggest scam is fat free. The label fat free. Just by having that moniker of fat free put out there, you get all these people that go through the drive-through. They order 15 Big Macs, 20 large fries, and they think it's okay because they order the Diet Coke. I'm sorry, but that 1 calorie is not going to keep your ass from exploding.
This is true.
It's not going to keep your heart from seizing inside your chest.
Yeah.
And the aspartame that they use to sweeten those diet drinks with is a carcinogen. It will eventually kill you.
Uh-huh.
Not to mention the high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah. And
so
that right there, just the corn. All this stuff that you said is true and everything. That corn syrup is just so unnatural. Anything I get, if it has, now I've gone to it to where I've had to have a little bit of sugar, only because I realized that my family has diabetes and I might need like a small amount of sugar, just keep it, because I've gotten headaches like really bad if I don't eat it.
You can buy glucose tabs.
Yeah, I can, but I just get natural sugar.
But
and only the only sugar I actually have is with my meal, and that's just with my cereal.
Here's how useless corn is. It comes out the same way you consume it.
Yes.
Okay. It's not goodbye. It's see you later.
Yeah.
Right. Corn is good for three things: popping, cornbread, and making whiskey. That's it.
So just one thing, making whiskey.
While I'm on the subject of alcohol, I've had 1 beer in the last 2 months. I've basically stopped drinking because when you consume that alcohol, how do they make alcohol? With sugars and yeast.
Yeah.
Right? So you're taking all of that into your body. And they're just empty calories. And by empty calories, I mean they don't convert to energy at all.
Yeah.
So I'm not railing against people who drink. I mean, I've been known to drink a beer. I've been known to drink 12 beers. I've been known to put away a bottle of tequila. Okay. And I will do that again in the future at some point, but I won't do it to an excess, because when you have those cheat days, or when you have those days where you just need to take, you just need to get rid of that like angry feeling or whatever. Moderation is the key.
Yeah.
Almost treat it like you're a 1950s Southern Baptist taking a shot in the back room of the pharmacy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you can't let the congregation see.
Yeah.
But it's, and that's something else too I've noticed on the carnivore diet is that, when I was eating all the junk foods, when I was eating all the breads and crap like that, like my brain was just not getting the signal that I was full. Like I constantly had to eat. Like, it wasn't uncommon for me to eat for me to eat a full size bag of Happy Colas in one sitting before I realized they were gone. You're not supposed to do that. That's why they put serving size suggestions on the back of the packaging, right?
Yeah.
Because the sugars and the fructose that's in, the high fructose corn syrup, it blocks that signal that your brain sends out to your stomach. It's called the satiation signal, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, you're eating 3 hots a day and then it's snacking in between. I will have, in the morning, I'll either have half a pound of bacon and 4 eggs and a cup or 2 of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I might have like basically it's a kosher meat stick. It's they're called chomps.
Mm-hmm.
It's the brand name. No trans fats, no carbs, no sugars. It's all meat, right?
Yeah.
And none of the filler. And then I'll have like a steak for dinner, or I'll take a chuck roast. I'll braise it in some beef tallow and butter. I'll throw it either in a crock pot or I'll throw it in an Instant Pot. I'll partially submerge it in beef broth and I'll cook it.
Yeah,
It falls apart. I'll drink I'll drink the drippings.
Yeah.
I'll drink the broth that the chuck is cooking in.
Mm-hmm.
But I get all the flavors from braising it in the pan. And whenever you braise things in the pan, you know how it glazes the pan up and you have to deglaze the pan.
Yeah.
Just deglaze it with beef broth and then just pour the drippings into the pot that you're going to cook with.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it.
That's just all flavor. That's just yeah. So I mean, it's just all part of the flavor. And
it really is.
You braise the chuck roast just to kind of give it that sear and seal in the juices that you're going to create.
Yeah, the other thing I've been wanting to try is bone marrow for topping. I don't know why, but for some ungodly reasons, I've never really done the whole bone marrow. And this is how stupid simple it is.
Yeah, you take a femur bone.
Yeah,
and
you
take a femur bone, you have it cut in half.
Yeah,
and then you broil it.
Yeah. I've never tried
the oven.
I've never tried that
the marrow. Yeah, I haven't tried it either. I've seen a lot of people use that as like a butter substitute, which is basically you can do that with beef tallow. Something else that I've seen a lot of carnivores do online is they will buy whipped beef tallow. Right? Like literally, it's just beef tallow that's been whipped into a foam.
Mm-hmm.
And they used it as a skin cream.
That's
because you got your natural lipids and your naturally occurring fats.
Okay. I could see how.
I mean, for people for people that have psoriasis, that use that whipped rendered beef tallow as a skin cream.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I mean, they're like, yeah, it's way better than a lot of the prescription medications that are out there for psoriasis. And it's got none of the side effects. I mean, sure, you smell a little bit beefier, during the course of the day, and you're gonna have a pack of dogs following you around all over the place, but hey, your skin's clear.
That actually doesn't sound too bad. I mean, at least you have something.
So, yeah.
Something coming around, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of options out there. I mean, I know that I've been talking about the carnivore for like the last hour, but
yeah,
I mean, there's obviously more diets out there that are available for people. I mean, and you have to find what's right for you. I just happen to be having a lot of success with this particular diet. And then once I got into it and got over that hump of like dealing with the drawback, with the withdrawals, it's actually one of the easier things in the world to keep on top of.
Yeah, it really is. Well, and
there's a lot of times I'll eat maybe once a day instead of twice a day. And it's okay to not be hungry on this diet. You just have to make sure you get at least one meal.
Yeah. Well, I've kept you longer because this is only supposed to be a 30-minute, and getting you talking is once you start.
That is not how we roll, dude. That's not how we operate. You know that.
I know. I have this expectation.
Every week on Nerd Sports, dude, we get to the hour 30 minute mark, and we're like, man, I think we're ready to land this plane. Yeah, and then here it comes 2 hours and 20 minutes later.
It's either
we're still talking.
Yeah, either one of us. Someone in the background is like, "Hey, I have an opinion." Fuck. We had the landing gear down for a reason. I'm cutting everything off.
I love my mother-in-law. To death. She is a saint as far as I'm concerned. But that woman is the queen of the Southern goodbye. she y'all will say your piece, and you'll be like, well, I will talk to you later, sugar. And then she'll be like, oh, wait, just let me tell you about this one last thing. And that one last thing translates into like a dozen more last things.
That's why I do the Irish goodbyes.
Love her to death.
I do the Irish goodbyes, like,
yeah, okay.
And just walk off and like, is he upset? No, he wants to leave, so he leaves.
No, he was just done talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just done talking. Yeah. It's kind of funny because I give my mother-in-law grief about it all the time, and yet every week on our show we do the same thing.
Yeah, it's
so
well, I do. Okay, you know what's really funny, and
at least with us, it's entertaining content.
Yeah. No, what's even worse is
I mean, we should be charging a Patreon for it, but
yeah. What's even worse is the guests that we have on. Like every guest that I've had on, especially is like Tansy, Andrea, BC.
Max was a great guest last week.
Yeah, Max. Yeah, even Max, because we ended up talking for about an hour and a half.
I got Colin sitting here in the passenger seat. I brought up Max's name. He tapped me on the shoulder and kind of gave his nod of approval, like, "Yeah, Max is a cool dude."
Yeah.
So yeah.
Who? Oh, Steve. Well, even Chris. When we first did a couple of podcasts, I'll get off the air and was like, "Okay, we're only going to do this much time." And then we end up spending another 45 minutes to an hour talking to each other after the show. And I'm like, guys, you told me you're done.
Well, you remember our first encounter on the show. You had to split that into 2 episodes.
No, that wasn't our first encounter. Our first encounter was
into 3.
No, our actual first one was the boot camp.
Oh,
Lindsay.
it was for the base camp Lindsay.
Base camp Lindsay, yeah.
Base camp Lindsay. That's right.
And we cut it
when
off.
I came back.
I should never let you back into the door. I should have just slammed it and let you go on your own way. But I was like, he seems like a pretty good guy.
You got a website, angrymeatproduction.com. You've got a merch store that's about to open.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got 3 shows going now.
I fucked up.
Your life became a living hell.
Well,
it got exponentially more expensive and involved since I've become a part of it.
Yes, and
then Colin came along as part of the package. So
it was like, hey, can we have my son? I was like, no. What are you bringing in more people? And then I brought more people, and we're like, we're cool again. I was like, this is back in high school. I'm wrangling everybody. Fuck.
Now, if we could just get some of the more viral creators on our show to actually show up,
yeah,
that would be great.
It's tough. It's not. It's tough because I was talking to Eli about it when I went to the Unsubscribed podcast, and he was like, "Dude, just trust the AI when you're doing your thumbnails. Do your thumbnails, and that's it. All you really have to do is thumbnails, and I mean, he even says like
hashtags.
He said hashtags a little bit and some other stuff that I need to go back over and look at. I haven't really fully developed on the stuff on YouTube of what we can and cannot do, or what we're able to do. And that's not like what we can say, what kind of contact it's just there's extra stuff on there that I haven't used yet. Now, saying that, I've been getting this a lot on Rumble, only because, Rumble and the Spotify stuff, the actual podcast stuff, YouTube is actually growing, surprisingly. I mean, we actually, the Nerd Sports actually hit a marker, and a lot of people that don't understand how low we are actually went from like first year to this year. our viewership on the last episode was 44 views. And that
Really?
yes, it's actually grown. I texted y'all this.
Okay.
I texted you. I messaged y'all on Facebook because apparently the thing you told me to do didn't work, and I couldn't do the group chat. Where I need to work on something on that one. But
yeah, you might have to just call Apple support about it. They walk you through it. But
yeah,
dude. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But we're actually somewhat growing. Now, saying that, I've gotten comments on Rumble app and messages on emails from people. It's like, hey, we have an ability to make your channel grow. Just give us XYZ. I'm like, dude, no. The latest one that was really strange, and this is newer for me, was, and I might actually, take the guy up on the offer, is he sent me a message like, hey, I got a lot of music and sounds and everything, which I can find and I can record, and I'm not stupid, so I can actually viably make some shit. And he was like, hey, I can do
update on the YouTube on episode 158.
Yeah.
Colin just looked it up. We're up to 47 views.
Yeah, it's actually growing. Let me look at here, because I'm able to look into the shadows where y'all don't look at. But yeah, I have to
pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I definitely don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Yeah, we're at 47. Let me look at the analytics though. No, that's comments.
It's not the Wizard of Oz. It's just David pulling on his crank. That's all it is.
Okay, here's the strange thing.
Richard, what were you doing?
Here's the strange thing about the analytics I don't like. Okay, and this is totally weird on the analytics. It shows the watch time of hours. Okay, when I first viewed it, I don't know if it's like a day or what, but when I first viewed it, it was on Monday. It was 5.5. Right now, it's 4.8. So I don't know.
I think what it does is it takes an average.
It has to, because
so back when I was kind of very diligently operating my own channel, I had a blog for the longest time. What it does is it takes the average number of watch minutes per day, and it averages out over the course of a week.
Okay.
So, like, say Monday through Friday, you've got 15.8 minutes worth of watch time per view, right?
Yeah.
Well, Saturday and Sunday, you're only getting like 4.3. It's going to bring that average down. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why you see the drop. It's because people are, I don't know if they're queuing in for a certain time stamp. I'm not entirely sure. I mean, for all we know, our rating spike might be for Joke Time, Joke Time with Colin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but
well, it can't be that, because he's literally said he doesn't tell his friends that he does this. So,
but his sister gets the word out.
Well, yeah, but he needs
she
to tell.
Knows a lot of people.
He needs.
And we're pretty consistent about the time of night that we try to bring him on to do his segment.
Yeah.
7:30 or 8. It's like 8. No,
it's 8:30 because we start at 7:30.
That's right. But
So he needs to tell his friends and stop.
Yeah.
It's like, well, my
So, I
friends
mean-
are gonna laugh at me. So you look at him and you're like,
no,
are you on
that's
YouTube?
not- no. Okay,
Are you
okay.
on YouTube? Do you have fans? No, you don't.
So
Oh.
Colin is here. I've mentioned that before. So go ahead, Colin. No, see, they're not gonna laugh at me. They're just gonna be straight up dicks. Like I don't feel like I already hate having to go to school. I don't feel like having to listen to my friends be told douches the entire time.
No, this is
Just
what you
like,
do. This
Dude,
is.
you're-
I'll tell you exactly how you do this because I've had and it's me as an adult has the same problem you have. You look those people dead in your eye and you go, do you have fans? Do you have this is my responsibility and I'm doing this because I enjoy it. What are you doing with your life? Usually shuts those people up. And they try and then what's really
when
strange
you start getting
and what's really strange after that is they start having opinions of how you could do your stuff better. It is so the only person I actually listen to, or the only people
and then
I
when
actually
you start
listen
getting
to.
your own merch.
Yeah.
And when he starts getting his own merch, he could just look at it and be like, I'm sorry, do you have merch?
What are you doing with your life?
Are you generating revenue from stuff that you're selling?
Yeah.
No? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought I was taking an opinion poll from a professional. Oh, you're just an amateur. Okay, go away.
Yeah.
You know?
have your nose up in
if
the
they
air
wanna
when
be
you do it.
douchebags about it. Yeah, it's like I have my own show with my own merch. Go away from me, you common people.
I hate poor people.
You know, and
What
just
the
kinda show
fuck
them
are you
what-
doing? How much do you have in your bank account so I can let you
poor
talk to me?
people. They're getting the bottom of my shoes dirty.
Yeah. How much do you have in your bank account so I know if I can let you to talk to me or not? But yeah,
Like I could buy your bank account.
Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious. That was a good one. You know, I could buy your bank account, right? the whole Batman versus that whole Justice League is like. So how'd you fix the stuff with the bank? How'd you get them? Did you just pay the back and everything? I bought the bank. Oh, it's a weird flex.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad you picked up. So glad you picked up on the Batman reference.
Oh yeah.
See, this is why I fucks with you, David. My
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah.
But now, so we can kind of rear this back and get back out of the weeds and land the plane, unless you hit the stop record button and just didn't tell me. But,
No. We're still recording. We could just.
Yeah.
My thing is half the time I don't think anybody listens to the tail end of the videos. In my head, they get like message and comments and everything. It's like, no, we listened to the whole thing, and I'm like, dude, I was talking about genocidal stuff.
we feel like we're part of the conversation.
Yeah. We were talking about genocidal stuff at the end of that. What are y'all doing?
When he said he could buy my bank account, I felt that in my pocket.
Yeah.
It's as if 1,000 wallets suddenly all screamed out at once, and then there was silence.
Yeah. When we're just as
See what I
bad as
did
they.
there?
Yeah. I saw what you did there. I would give you a high five if I was there.
As a programming note.
Yeah.
I just may, for the Nerd Sports, because tomorrow is May the 4th, I may wear my Obi-Wan Kenobi outfit for the show on Monday. We're going to keep that.
So that'd be good.
I very well just may show up I very well may very well show up as Obi-Wan Kenobi.
That'd be awesome.
On Monday. I mean, I do have the lightsabers there in my office.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's-
Well, message.
And I will start the show with. I will start the show with hello there.
I get your reference.
And then my Han Solo button is going to get wore out.
Yeah. God. Yeah, I'm not gonna be on the show for Monday, but I gotta work. Yes, I know.
Oh, dude, that pains me.
I know.
That pains me because I'm counting on you to wear your Boba Fett stuff, dude.
You know what's sad is I found my Boba Fett sweater. It was one of those ones that you could get from Hot. Yeah, you could get it from Hot Topic. It zips all the way up and has like a it looks like a full mask. One of those.
Yeah.
I was like,
I do have a Boba Fett hoodie. I know you've seen it.
Yeah.
But no, I
wonder if I still have a photo of those.
I think Obi-Wan Kenobi is going to be our special our special guest producer on Monday.
That works. I'm trying to figure out if I probably have it on Facebook because I took a picture and posted it somewhere. I just can't remember where.
And I'm not saying that this is I'm not saying that this is a thing, but I may rearrange my backdrop. I may move the Enterprise and feature the Millennium Falcon, X-Wing, Star Destroyers that I built.
That makes me tear up a little bit.
Just kind of putting that out there.
That makes me tear up a little bit.
And it's the Star Destroyer Avenger, the one that I built and lit up.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Trying to see. I know I have.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know why, but Facebook got rid of a lot of my photos. Or I just don't know how to use this
Facebook's been
thing.
doing a dump here lately.
Yeah. And it doesn't tell you. No, it just went to a wrong section. Trying to find it. Okay, there's the photos I have. I used to have a coffee mug from my Jason that he gave me. It was a Boba Fett cup. I lost it. I'm sick of myself sometimes.
I still have my OBGYN Kenobi t-shirt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, see, now he gets it. Like, oh, he had to play that back in his head. Yeah.
I did
No,
have to play
it's a picture of Obi-Wan. It's a picture of Obi-Wan with his hand on Padme's belly.
Yeah.
And it says OBGYN Kenobi. I wore that shirt, and Chris finally took notice of it. He was like, "Oh, dude, that shirt, that is awesome." I was like, "Yeah, I know." So, great. I saw that shirt, and I was like, "I have to have that in my life."
What's sad is I had to go through this whole thing, and there it is. There it is. I'll send it to you via messenger. Show you what the jacket looks like.
I won't open it until we get off the phone. Actually, I won't even open it until I get home because I'm driving.
I know.
So yeah. And yes, so that way we don't get tagged and reported for unsafe acts, I'm using my Apple CarPlay.
You know what I found out? That even if you use your Apple CarPlay with like I have the USAA app on my phone because I'm
the snapshot app.
Yeah.
That's why I don't use that.
Yeah.
I want to be able to drive as fast as I want in between where the cops are set up for speed traps.
It doesn't check that. It checks your brakes and even if it doesn't check that. It just checks your breakage and your if you use hands free,
acceleration rates.
no, it didn't. It doesn't do the acceleration rates because I'd speed the fuck.
Really?
I speed the shit out of going up to South Dakota. It says it takes 11 hours to get up to South Dakota, and I do it in about 9, just to show how much speeding I end up doing.
Well, because I hit that illustrious traffic in DFW, trying to get from 287 to 820, then get back over onto 287 to hit 45.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, right there. Exit.
Oh yeah, that's the reason why I totally I miss Houston altogether. And you still is like, oh, it's faster. Is it?
Oh,
is
no,
it
no,
really?
no. I'm talking. No. I'm talking about in DFW.
Oh, in DFW.
I'll drive in Houston all day long. I don't care.
I bypass
I hate
major
driving
cities.
in DFW.
I bypass major cities.
I told my wife tonight. I told my wife, I was like, I know that hate is a strong word and it's one that we're not supposed to use, but I hate DFW.
Yeah.
I said the people there are the special kind of people that require helmets to keep them from licking the windows.
Yeah, even going to like Chris's and everything. Even go through to Chris and everything. Yeah. I go through Mineral Wells. I don't go through Fort Worth. It's
I mean, me, I'm kind of screwed either way. I mean, I either have to take I-10, or to go through Katy. But I mean, and I-10 is the widest highway in the world. It's like 16 lanes or something. It's crazy. But it's the most dangerous highway in America or in the world. Anyways, I'll drive in Houston all day long because I mean I can dive bomb in an open spot in the lane next to me just with the best of them.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Because everybody in Houston is in a hurry to get to the same. They're all in a hurry, just like you, right? Dallas, oh my gosh, dude. I mean, I know that Houston has its fair share of construction, but at least right now, the construction in Houston is limited to 610 and 288, where it's all over DFW, and they're never going to be finished.
Yeah,
ever.
Yeah.
So, they're putting in all those flyovers on 820, and I'm just like, so they're closing one lane, squeezing everybody down into another. I'm just like, seriously.
That's why I got the pass, man. I just go on the express one.
Yeah, you have to eventually get off the express lane, though, to get onto 45. Once I'm on 45, dude, it is a straight shot. And the only time that I stop is in Madisonville if I decide that I want to go to Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
And even then, it's iffy because I live in Lake Jackson, the home of Buc-ee's. So we've got a Buc-ee's almost literally on every corner. So it's not a big deal for me. So, I mean, when I was in Dallas, we hit Dallas Fort Worth traffic. We got off of 287 in Mansfield because it was dinner time and I had to eat. Right, the boys were hungry. When we got back in the car, it's sitting there telling me the GPS. It's like, oh, you'll arrive back at home at like 11:15. I'm looking at my estimated time of arrival now, and it's at 10:54. So, I can make up time. I'm a time traveler. It's all good. I almost look at beating the GPS as like an extreme sport.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm the next Doctor Who. Take off my underwear, and my wife always says, "Oh, it's bigger on the inside." I know. See what I did there?
Yeah, I saw what you did there. What's sad is I'm going through some of these photos and everything, just reminiscing and whatnot. And you ever realize that you met somebody and you didn't really like know them all too well, then you found out that they were a pedophile, and you're like, fuck. And you have to delete the photo. I really have to go through these photos.
Did you meet Tom Hanks or something?
No. It was a guy when I was working up at tech AT&T when I was doing the Uverse.
Oh, okay, I got you. See, now we're getting into the nitty gritty of personal information. So it's probably a really great time to land the plane.
Yeah. We'll pretty much got to land the plane. All right, man.
This episode has gone completely off the rails.
Well, we
There's
usually
no
go.
rescuing.
We
There's no coming back.
Yeah, we usually go like the last after an hour. The last like 23 minutes is just us like reminiscing of our past.
This episode has gone so awry that drunk Denzel Washington can't even land this plane.
I think he can, because he's about to. All right, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching on the YouTubes and everything. And honestly, and I said this on Psychos and Sociopaths last night it would be last night because this is going up on Sunday. Thank everybody that's actually been watching here lately, subscribing, set it up. Like I said yesterday, we would like to do our t-shirt sales and make a little bit of extra cash on this, but just to get the word out and everything, share, like, comment on our stuff. I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
There we go. What the fuck was that? But okay. Love you guys. Talk to y'all later.
What? I thought we were doing our normal sign off.
Yeah, we were until you like had a pause.
No, I didn't.